Well, it took me an hour to get this little bastard out. This is the oil pump. Now, it works fine. I'm probably creating a lot more work than I need to by taking this out and converting to premix. But I'm much more relaxed whenever I have the oil mixed in the oil into the gas already, just like that one is. Yeah, it costs us a little bit more money, but it's peace of mind. So I've got the oil line plugged up, and I'm fixing to take out the oil reservoir. I checked my reeds, and there is not a nick on the reeds. It's like this engine is, I mean, damn near new. The bad thing is the guy just let it sit for a while, so it just needs a lot of TLC. Put this thing back together. Like I said, rebuild the carburetors. But I got the fuel pump out. I'll probably throw this sucker up on eBay and get rid of it. I've also got another oil pump over here that I took off this engine that was grenaded. So we'll see what those bring. But we're well on my way. Really kind of hoping to get this thing back together, but obviously I gotta wait for kits for those. If anybody knows, you know, as long as there's not a hole in these, are they okay? I don't know if you can see this or not, but it looks like that they're just fine. They're just a little worn. I don't know if that's okay or if it's not okay. I know, just do it, just rebuild it. Alright, oil tank is out. That was actually pretty painless. I seem to remember that one being a little bit harder, but I don't know. This is what you do with the oil cinder lines, or if you do the if you cap off the tank lines too. But if you don't want to see an error message up on the MFD, it'll say low oil. You take the two lines and you twist them together, solder them, and then I put heat shrink around them. What that'll do is it'll tell this thing that it's always full in the MFD up here, which is what you want because you're eliminating the oil tank. So with that being said, I'm just going to tuck it away. And then you need to find a place for your spring to go. Well, it actually fits nice and perfectly right there. That's what I have done on that one on the other side. So what you do is you just wrap it through there, and now you've got your spring now working. And then whenever you put your what do you call it, the storage thing back in there, it just kind of tucks back in there. Works pretty nicely. Not a huge deal. You could probably put it somewhere else down there, but this is good for now. And that way you retain your spring action whenever, oh look at there, it pulled off. Well, I think I wrapped that one around, so I'll have to rebend this a little bit, make it work a little bit better, so I'll figure it out, no worries. But I think it's time to take a lunch break. I'm tired, starting to get a little shaky because I'm hungry, so. Alright, back from the lunch break, and I actually got the other side of these carburetors pulled apart to check the filters that come in from the inlets, and they're perfectly clean. Everything is beautiful in there. However, I did find the little jumpers that go between the carbs are tempo or tiempo, however you say it, the gray garbage line. So I will be running that in between these carbs there, or doing a block off. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'll figure it out. But anyway, yeah, that's not a good thing to have. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull out everything inside here, check everything, clean this rust, and just check all the passages and make sure everything's okay. One thing that worries me is that this thing is dry and all these are wet. So that tells me that we may have a passage in the carburetor clogged up somewhere. So that's what's going on right now. Alright, here's a little word of advice. All these little screws that are going into, you know, all these different locations, they're very, very soft and they're hard to get out with a standard screwdriver without rounding them off. So what I have is I have a DeWalt impact wrench. I know this looks like killing an ant with a nuclear weapon, but it has a number 2 bit that fits perfectly in there, and then all you do is you just barely bump it just one time, and then what happens is it bumps it loose, so therefore you don't get, now that one wasn't very tight. Let's see what this one does. Yep, so you hear it click once and that just breaks it loose. You don't just break it on out from there, but Yeah. So therefore, that'll help you get those things out if you've got one of those impact wrenches. That just helps a ton. And getting those screws out on the back, it really helped too. I don't put them back in with that, but you know, at least it gets it out so you don't strip out the top of your Phillips head. Okay, these things look a whole lot cleaner than they did before. I took every single one of these apart completely. Took every float out. I took every spring. There's jets up underneath here on both sides. Took them all out, and I sprayed my ValueCraft carb cleaner down inside every single hole. And I think I found out why this one was dry, is I had a blockage whenever this opened. This jet right down in there was not allowing fuel in there, because whenever I sprayed the carb cleaner in there right there, it just pooled up. It did not come out. Once I blew it out and it came out the fuel inlet, that's when it would start draining. So I think that may have been the issue. But I did find some carb rebuild kits locally. They'll be here on Tuesday. I love being able to buy from local merchants. And he's got each kit's $31.95, so you know we're going to be right around $90 for all three. So I'll go ahead and take them back out. It was a learning experience to be able to take them apart and see what they are and clean them up. I really don't think they need to do it, or be rebuilt, but since I'm there, I'm going to go ahead and do it. So I think that's it for now, until I get some parts in. I've worked my butt off today, got everything apart, and we just got back from watching fireworks. It's been raining like cats and dogs these past 3 or 4 days, like I said before, and it did the same thing again tonight. And we usually go to our downtown Frisco, Texas fireworks show every year. Well, it rained hard from about 6 to about 8:30, and we thought they were going to cancel it, but they didn't. So we usually go out and we park right up and watch the fireworks go off. I know this is a crazy story, but you guys got to hear it. So anyway, we pull up and we park on the grass. And we're sitting there listening to the radio, and all of a sudden my truck, which is an '06 Silverado, never had any problems out of it whatsoever, starts blinking all these warning lights on the dashboard and says, you know, check brake system, blah, blah, blah. Well, anyway, I went to try to start it. Nothing. It was dead. Fine time for a battery to go out. So the battery's dead. The kids are freaking out. My wife's freaking out. I'm just like, you know what? There's not much we can do about it right now. So we sat back and watched the fireworks. I put my hood up. And right after the fireworks are over, some guy drives up, says, hey, you need to jump, and jumps us off. But then right after that, we get stuck in the mud. So it's been kind of an ordeal. It's late. It's probably about midnight. I'm tired. I'm going to bed, but there's your update. I will see you next time as soon as I get parts and I can put this thing back together.